All right, we're almost back with a game three of this Seto Deli match. I do think Seto has had the better of it. I think Seto has had the better of it in both games so far. First one much closer, and Deli had a great move 5 to clarify it and put some pressure on. Turds made a really interesting point at the end of the last game, which is when Seto sees the position's a tie, he just instantly played the tie after Deli's move. And there's 3 moves left, that's very calculatable, but just no self-doubt is really interesting. I will always take time to double check there, right? To just make sure, because what if I miss something? What if something in my brain turned off? And I do think Seto, and also maybe Akiyama as well, just instantly go, yep, I know this, there's no point taking more time, I'm just going to insta-play the move because I know it is the correct move. And it's a very interesting thing. Very different psychology for the game, I think, than I have, or than the people I regularly talk to have about the game. I guess other thoughts. The 7-6-5-4s at level 5 have played really well. It has often been the level 8s that felt like weaknesses in the hand. I think the main weakness Delial has had is the 1-7-8-9 and the 2-9-8-6 make a poor pair, sharing the up weakness, and Seto has done a really strong job of exploiting that. I think Seto... What has Seto done wrong? Seto used an 8-7-6-5 in the first game that I wasn't entirely sure of, but it did play well. Yeah, I probably can't come up with a legit criticism of Seto's play. So I think fundamentally Seto has done a little better in the hand-making department, and with both of them making consistently very strong moves, that has given him an advantage in the games. The best chance so far was in game 2 on move 5. I did not find a win for Seto. Seto did not find a win for Seto. It's possible there wasn't a win, but it was the kind of position where most moves feel close to winning and that Deli has to be precise. However, it does seem Deli had it nicely under control and managed to get the tie. So far, really interesting games. Seto gets another first turn. Seto moves to a 5-2-7-6 and a 9-7-8-1. This is the first 9-7-8 we've seen that's not a corner. We've seen the 1-7-8-9. Deli sticking with his hand. I continue to think this hand is not really where you want to be. That you want your level 8s to all have different directional weaknesses than each other. This was a big lesson I had when making hands for this, because my original hand looked very similar to this. So I think that's been the downside. Seto also showed, perhaps, that the best kind of starter in this set, or at least made a very good case for it, is a 7-6 corner, and specifically one playing against Deli's up weakness. So I feel pretty comfortable predicting 5-2, 7-6, and 3 here, and I think that is an annoying move for Deli to meet. He has only 1 capture from 2, and he has only 1 capture from 6, and that really locks in a lot of his play. Turds has noticed. Okay, so we should check the elementals. Yes. There are pluses in 2 and 4. That might change 5-2-7-6, right? Because suddenly 2-9-8-6 as a capturer is not necessarily so easily taken back. That's really interesting. That's a good call. I missed that. We should check that first. The lightning elementals can affect both 2-9-8-6s and nothing else. The 5-2-7-6 has a bonus in 7 that I think is just obviously very unlikely to be used in the game. Generally, the reason you'd put a 5-2-7-6 and 7 is because it is easily recapturable, and the elemental giving a plus hinders rather than helps that. 8-6-2-9 has a plus in 9. which would make it very hard for Deli to approach from 6 but he would still have pressure against it from 8, and in fact, Seto would not have a recapture from 6. But yeah, 8629 gets the plus in the square 9. 5276 has a plus in 7, and both 2986s have pluses in 2 and 4. Just looking at the elemental layout, like the squares that pop out as potentially interesting are 1 and 3, and those are squares I think Seto is looking to anyway, right? Now, how does the new card play? 978. Well, I am deeply mistaken. Seto goes for a 5-starter. This is very much part of Seto's wheelhouse. Seto plays 5 starters quite a bit and to good effect. The last time Seto and Deli all played, Seto won with a 5-starter. I tend to be skeptical. I tend to think it gives the opponent too much room to do various things. But also watching Seto's results, I am wrong. You know? So directionally, looking at Seto's hand, do I think it's more up, down, or side to side? Because that will usually determine whether I'd rather play in 2 or 8 or 4 and 6. The 9781 very much speaks to up, down, and the 8629 and 2986 both speak somewhat to side, a decent amount to side. Obviously 15 is a lot more than 10 as total value. Probably counts as fairly balanced. So then I'd start looking at maybe a corner play. I think 1789 in 1 could be interesting. No, there's the plus with 2986. I'm oblivious. If there wasn't the plus, if it forced 8629 as the capturing card, then you have the combo back with 2986. That was my idea. But actually, if we take that a step further, what about 7645 and 1? Now that's probably bad, because if we've learned one thing from the previous games, we've learned Deli wants the game not to be up facing, and we don't want the 1789 and the 2986 in our hand at the end. But if we bear with me for a moment, my point is, Seto has no capture in 2 that we can't combo back. 8629 we combo with 2986, and 2986 we combo with 6457. So we'd play there, and our threat would be to follow up with something like 1789 and 4. Might not be the best threat, so it might not all be worth it. I don't know. Maybe you just play low on the board. Let's see what our... So if he had gone 3, Smokes thinks maybe you just capture it. Yeah, maybe he's right. That often is the way to kind of clarify against an uncomfortable starter, is because fundamentally, what does an uncomfortable starter do? It means there are 2 squares on the board where it is difficult for you to play while doing something effectively. Now, if you just capture, you may be doing something effective, and you often force both of those squares that you have bad play in to be occupied. And so being a capture bot, well known not to be great, but capturing stuff to remove squares from the game that you don't have good play in can be very logical. Sorry for sending messages to people. I think I've been mostly good in these videos about not sending too many messages and getting distracted, but it's hard to resist. And I do have people who I think have given nice and helpful commentary, and it has been nice to have them. I have no idea what I'd do here. I really just want the 1789 or the 2986 out of my hand, I think. So I'd probably look to do something with that. 1789 and 2 is not absurd, I don't think. Probably not very good, though. I just want it out of my hand. I don't know. Sometimes this happens where you decide something is the weakness and you start looking too much at it too soon. And Deli has also shown that he can reach ties with these two cards in his hand. And with these two cards staying in his hand fairly late. So, yeah. I don't know. 5 leaves so many options. Like, in the second game, so the move order went 1, 9, 2, 8. And the reason I'm skeptical of moves in 8, though it felt like it should be right in the position, is because there's so many things it could lose to. It could lose to a big setup in 4 or 6. It could lose to some kind of safety in 3 or 7. It could lose to the Z in 5, right? There's so many possible moves. I am not going to evaluate them all properly. I don't have time. I'm not sharp enough to do so. Therefore, anytime I make a move like that, I am taking a significant risk. Not just that I've failed to calculate something, because I will never calculate everything, but specifically that I have failed to calculate a critical move, right? When I make a forcing move, when I make a capture, it is much easier for me to know, here is the critical move in reply, and I can calculate that line to an amount that satisfies me that I'm comfortable making the move. One of the reasons I personally have difficulty making moves in 5 is because I feel like I'm letting that structure of the game out of my control. And I tend to make moves that try to keep the structure of the game within my control. All right, so we have a move. Deli uses a low-level card. He uses one that has limited ways to capture it. So I was trying to do, say in 1, there are only so many captures in 2. Deli, I think, nicely points out here that 2986 is the only capture in 7, and that gets samed back in 4. So similar idea, but I think better executed here. It makes the game up-down, which if 2986 and 8629 matter more than 9781, I think is a very good call. I think this is an interesting strategic call, and probably correct, right? 2 cards are more than 1, even if, yeah. Does Seto have a move in 9? Interestingly, when last they played, in Nephilim, Seto started in 5, Deli played in 4, but conceptually similar, something difficult for Seto to take. And Seto just played next to it. And so, is there something dangerous there? 8629 in 8 might be a decent move. It is not trivial for Deli to capture this card back, right? Deli's only recapture in 7 is 2986, and Seto has basically the same Deli does. However, to force that action, Seto would have to capture from 9. 7645 does not do so. 2986 does so, but concedes whatever Deli wants to put in 6. Though possibly nothing there is very scary, but maybe it is, because specifically 7645 and 6 captures that, and Seto does not have the capture in 3 because Ifrit combos back in 2, I guess. 8629 in 9 is comboed back by Ifrit, potentially, though there are various combo chains there that are not unscary. Note, it can only be taken by Ifrit because it gets a +1, not a -1. Of course, Seto could also play 1 and 3 are, I think, the conventional squares. 2 is also a move. Turds really likes this move. Yeah, instinctively I like this move in 8 too, but I also think Seto has a bunch of room to maneuver here. I think fundamentally any corner is is a viable option. However, is it? Nine, 7, 8, 1 is going to be a really good up-down sweeper here. On the right, it just already controls everything. So if you go in 3, 9, 7, 8, 1 is your sweeper for 6 and 9, is probably good as long as you don't give up combo potential on the 5, 2, 7, 6, because then there can be combos through the 9, 7, 8, 1. So if you think Deli's threat is to go in 9, I think it can be logical to either occupy 9 yourself or to go in 3 as the square that most likely controls 9. But you can also probably just go in 1 and say you still don't have a move in 9. Yeah. So maybe Deli doesn't have a huge threat here. Nine, 7, 8, 1. Turds points out, is safe in 7. That is certainly a move we could see here. Though, then you wouldn't have as good, but you'd still have pretty good control of 9. 9, 7, 8, 1, and 7 is definitely a good candidate move I didn't consider. Turds is saying probably not now, but sometime later. But I think it's probably a decent move either now or later. Maybe not now, because like 9, 7, 8, 1 in 7, 7, 6, 4, 5 and 9, 2, 9, 8, 6 and 6, 1, 7, 8, 9 and 3, takes 6 and is safe. Like, probably there's ties there, but that looks like it's Deli that's playing for a win in that kind of line. Which is what we want to see. We want to see Deli playing for a win here. Because I think in general, Deli has been a little behind in these games. And the only moment where it looked promising, and Piggy thought he was winning, was after the move in 4. But I think Seto's, the path he showed was a pretty clear path to a tie. And I don't think Seto was going to miss that. I think you really, like, I've said this before. I don't think I've ever seen Seto blow a position with not just 6 moves, not just move 6, but move 5 either. Now, I didn't have the solver back in the day, and I can't check all his games, but I don't recall ever seeing it. I think he had to be beaten sooner. And so, like, fundamentally, if Deli's going to win this game, and this makes it really tough. Like, I kind of feel like Seto has to make a move here that Deli can really jump on. And that's really difficult. It's really difficult. Because obviously, Seto has very good instincts, but he has let time run out. He does play. He does play Turds' move. That's fun. So I thought this looked like advantage Deli. So let's calculate out kind of the simplest line. 7, 6, 4, 5, and 9. 2, 9, 8, 6, and 6. Seto leads 6, 4. 1, 7, 8, 9, and 3. It is 5, 5. 8, 6, 2, 9 in 4 beats anything in 2. No, it doesn't beat anything in 2. You could block 2 with Ifrit, but loses to 2, 9, 8, 6, and 1. 7, 6, 4, 5 in 2. Ties due to the element in 2. 7, 6, 4, 5, and 4, I meant. Who's ties to 2. Yeah. Actually there, though, Deli would not have to use 1, 7, 8, 9 in 3. He could start with 2, 9, 8, 6 and 3. 2, 9, 8, 6 and 3. I don't think that gets him anything, because after 8, 6, 2, 9 and 4, 1, 7, 8, 9 and 1 walks into a combo in 2. Alright. So my current instinct is this looks good for Deli, but Seto has found a path. He has seen clarity to the tie. Absolutely no point starting with if written 9. That just walks into everything and there's no compensation. Was trying to come up with something clever, but it's just not there. Like I wanted if written 9, 86296, and then 1789 in 1, but it doesn't work. If writ 4 is safe. I hadn't realized that. Oh! Turds notices. I didn't notice this. This is not safe. 2986 can take this. I brain dead. I mean, element winning again. So 2986 and 4 is a legitimate candidate move. Importantly, it is also not a card that is needed to cover 9. But that gets really scary. So like say you play 2986 and 4. First of all, Seto probably should just play 2986 and 1. But like, let's say he goes 8629 and 9. We really go for it. Seto goes 8629 and 9. So our line is 2986 and 4, using the element to capture. Deli's up 7-3. Seto goes 8629 and 9. It's 6-4. Deli plays 9628 in 6. 8-2. Oh, Seto doesn't have the combo back card. He can't. I thought he could still have plus wall that 9. Okay. In that case, if 2986 in 4, I think Seto should play 2986 in 1. Then 7645 in 9 is safe. And does Seto have a tie there? I don't know. If 7645 and 6, there's 1789 and 3. I have a lot of trouble believing 2986 and 4 wins. But I don't see the tie. I do not see a tying idea against that. Yeah. It is wholly possible there is one. In fact, I would suggest it is probable there is one. But I'd be getting optimistic about 2986 and 4 if I noticed it captured, which I probably wouldn't have noticed. So I'd still be looking at 7645 and 9, and I think that's a tie, and I would be making sure. So yeah, if I had this position, I think I would be spending my time on 7645 in 9 and just making sure it tied, because I wouldn't see serious other options. But there's a very serious other option in 29864. And fundamentally, it's hard for Seto to capture things. I think 2986 in 1 has a problem with 7645 and 9. There might be a tie there. I just haven't spotted it if there is. I think 8629 in 9 has a problem with 9628 and 6. That one's pretty straightforward. I think 2986 in 9, the only other way to capture 8, I suspect also has a problem to 9628 and 6. So I don't know if it's winning. It probably isn't, based on, how complex a game triple triad is. But, okay, he doesn't go for it. But I do think 2986 and 4 was the critical move. I think Deli still got the better of this game. I think he found a very good reply to the 5 starter. Seto found a way to try to clarify the position, and I think he will have successfully done so. But I think this is just a tie. What was the line I calculated here? The line I calculated here was 29866, 17893. And then I think it was a... What was the move I thought was a tie? I think it was 76456. So 29866, 17893. That makes it 55. 76454. That's a tie. Either way, I'm glad to see a game where sorry, a lot going on in the chats at the moment because this is a big moment. Turds, who was the one who spotted that 4 had the elemental plus, thinks this is the better move. It is also possible I've totally misevaluated this, right? If 2986 and 6, maybe Deli just goes in 4. Turds thought the line I gave was a win for Deli. Oh, because 2986 and 2 gets a plus. Oh, you are correct. All right. Well, Seto has picked up a different card. Yeah. So I got all excited when I saw 2986 in 4 captured and thought that was best. But I had still misevaluated this line because 6 can be met by 4, or 2 in a critical moment gets a +1 rather than a -1. So the line I was giving as a tie just isn't a tie. So I do think 2986 and 6 now I think loses. And so Seto presumably is going to play in 2 or 4. I didn't think there was enough combo potential that 1 or 3 could be right, but I didn't check that so clearly. I don't remember what card he picked up, but I should be able to figure it out. It's the 7645. It's our robot friend. That presumably can't go in 2 because 8629 is such a bad endgame card. So I think that's got to be going in 4. But yeah, no, I totally miscalculated this. Oh! But my line didn't work there either, because 2986 and 6, if Deli plays 1789 and 2, that can be hit with 1789 and 3, 2986 and 2 can take it. So every single calculation I've done is wrong, and this can be really difficult to have realized because you don't know how much you have to recheck. Because what I keep doing is I kept being like, that adjusts this one specific line and changes my evaluation, but I have not reapplied it to all the other lines. This knowledge that 2 and 4 are actually just much more powerful squares than they looked like to me. So, given all that, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know. It feels like if Seto blocks 4, Deli should have Ifrit in 6. That seems like that should be pretty strong. Then if like 2986 and 1, Deli can just go 1, 7, 8, 9, and 3 and win. Alright, I don't know what's happening here, but I kind of think Deli's winning. Oh, we get a move in 1. Alright, so of course he would not play a move I was remotely considering. Didn't think there was the combo potential. But I do think, I mean, Deli says this was not the tie he saw. Now that means he saw a tie. He thinks it is just one in the game. I think it is also one in the game. 2, 9, 8, 6, and 4 just looks great, right? Like, is there a big setup in 3? No. Oh, what a complex game. I think we can see with this how easily... So he thought 2, 9, 8, 6, and 2 with the T. Huh. I'm just going to say, don't distract yourself from the game. Interesting idea. 2, 9, 8, 6, and 2 feels like so little down power, right? Like, shouldn't that lose to, like... I guess 8, 6, 2, 9 has annoying pluses and sames in 1. It's possible there. That's a very hard move to find if that ties. I'm skeptical, but it's possible. That'll be something fun to go back to after the match, as a maybe exploration for later. But it's very clear, after I think I did pretty good calculations the first 2 games, that when there were more elemental pluses and when they were on relevant squares to the action, my calculation fell apart completely. Hopefully didn't mislead you too much. Hopefully added to the excitement of the trajectory of this. I could easily be wrong. Deli now says he's only seeing ties. Piggy also started thinking there was some tie potential. So why would this be a tie? What if we play 2, 9, 8, 6, and 4? We lead 7, 3. If they go in 2, all we have to do is dodge a combo. And we can dodge the combo. 2 can't tie. If they go in 3, with 8, 6, 2, 9. No, we're up 7, 3. If they go in 3, we go 6. That's fine. And if they go 6, 8, 6, 2, 9, and 6, we play 1, 7, 8, 9, 2. If they go 2, 9, 8, 6, and 6, we go Ifrit 2. I don't see it. I don't see why there would be a tie here. I just... Am I missing something again? It could be. I don't get it. What am I not seeing? Alright, Turd still thinks that wins. I still think that wins. Deli is seeing ties. And I think Deli has seen this game clearly better than I have, right? You know, for many reasons. But I don't see why this would be a tie. Is there some combo I'm missing? It's so easy to miscount. But I feel like 4 is just it. I worry sometimes Deli will see a line. We all do this. Miscalculate it, as I've done repeatedly this video, and that line will be stuck in the head, and you won't return to it. And one instinct I have that I think is good is I will, if I'm not finding anything I like, I will make sure to return to the most standard conventional moves and double check them. And now I still might have missed the 2, 9, 8, 6, and 4 has the captures because I've missed that all game. But I do think this is a win. Yeah. He goes for it. Okay. So now we'll see, right? Seto liable to play very quickly here, but 8, 6, 2, 9, and 2, we block 6. 2, 9, 8, 6, and 2, we block 6. 8, 6, 2, 9 in 6, we block 2 with 1, 7, 8, 9. 2, 9, 8, 6, and 6, we block 2 with 9, 6, 2, 8. 2, 9, 8, 6 in 3 loses to, I think, like everything. And 8, 6, 2, 9, and 3, I think we can actually just play 6 because we still win 6, 4. Oh, sorry, we don't block 2 with Ifrit. We play in, oh, we do, I miscounted. Oh, completely miscounted. All right, Deli once again had it better. Well, totally deluded here. I thought we were still up 6-4 here. So close for Deli. Seto's really hard to beat. What a bummer. Terry's pointing out Seto again, just quick plays. Maybe 2, 9, 8, 6, and 4 was better to start with, but man, Seto's so good. What do you do? What do you do? We have another tie. Alright, Deli definitely got the advantage this one. So I think we've had a game that was close to balanced. I would say a little advantage to Seto, but you could, as Piggy did, say a little advantage to Deli. Game 2, I think clear advantage to Seto. This game, I think clear advantage to Deli. So that ends game 3, and I think we'll keep trying to break these up into separate videos. Good match. I did say coming into this, my dream, my hope, my aspiration was 3 ties and then Deli wins. We're right on pace. We can do it. Just gotta bring it home.